Hi guys, so with my client, she has a grown out balayage. We are wanting something more on the subtle side. We are still wanting to keep a lot of depth, and we're just going to be bringing up some pieces, adding some baby lights around her face and around her hairline in the back, but making sure everything is nice and super blended. And so I mixed up two formulas. I did baby lights in one bowl, and so I mixed up Light Master, my matrix, and pH bonder with Flash Lift by Redken with 10 volume, just because those pieces are fine and I'm going to be doing thin sections, and so 10 volume is perfect. And then in my other bowl, I am mixing up my Redken freehand lightener with a little bit of Light Master, about 75% freehand and 30 or 25% Light Master, just because I want a little bit more lift than the freehand gives me, and I feel like it helps my consistency a little more. And so then I'm mixing that with 40 volume, just because I am letting that process in open air, and I know that, so 40 volume outside of a foil is about equivalent to 20 volume in a foil, and so I used 40 volume, and yeah, we will see how it goes. Actually, it'd be great, but I'll see you back when I am painting.
Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you how I like to do my baby lights around her face. So I already did my baby lights in the back around her hairline, and then I did her balayage on top of that. So I always like to start off with baby lights around the perimeter and around her hairline, so that way when she pulls her hair up, she is going to feel very bright and she's going to feel very, very sun-kissed. So I always go in with a softer, like more low volume formula for these baby lights, just because they are going to be sitting on for a little while, and just because they are really, really thin sections, I do not need to use a higher volume than 10, and because her hair is about a natural level 7. So around her front hairline, I am just going in and I'm following the exact pattern that her hair just naturally grows from, and I'm taking just really, really tiny sections, and I am just going through, and I am, as you can see, I am just going in and I am gently just kind of weaving through those, just because I do want to have a little bit of depth still there, so that way it grows out really, really nice and seamless. I would not want to take really big sections or really heavy slices, just because I want her whole hair to be able to grow out nice and smooth. And I notice that if I like weave really tiny sections, it allows it to grow out a lot nicer and it looks a lot more natural than if I take just these like wide slices. So I always do this, and I find that it just is so beautiful and so sun-kissed. Okay, so once I have finished all of the baby lights around her face, I am going in and I am finishing my balayage sections. So I'm going in and I always paint on an angle. So all of my sections, it's higher up around her face and it goes lower, more diagonal towards the back, just because I find that when her hair is like dried and styled, that it looks just really nice and seamless, and there's just no like harsh lines whatsoever. Not that we paint with any harsh lines to begin with, but it just ensures that your hair blends so much more. So this is my 40 volume with the Light Master and the freehand. I like to mix the two just because freehand is a clay-based lightener and Light Master is more of a creamy lightener. And I feel that I get a little bit more lift when I add in the Light Master, and it gives me a little bit more of a creamier consistency. And I'm going in with my chip brush. This is my 2-inch chip brush. I love this brush just because it makes blending so seamless, so quick, and just unbelievably easy. And it's honestly just foolproof. It works so well. I had heard a lot of people doing this, and I honestly was kind of scared to try it, but once I tried it, I will never go back to balayaging with any other brush. It is so, so seamless and nice. So I always paint right up around the hairline first, So the brighter white, I guess the more solid white that you get a piece when balayaging, the brighter that piece is going to be. I always like it a little brighter around the face, and then I like to really work on my gradient everywhere else, just because I do want it to be a little bit brighter around her face, so that way her baby lights tend to have something to kind of melt into, and it's not just like her baby lights and then nothing right next to it. So I'm just going in and working on my gradient. My goodness, I love painting. It is just so satisfying, even just watching this video. Satisfying. So I always just go in, and I love to have a nice, great transition area, just because I really want this to be seamless and to grow out nicely. Transition areas are the key to keeping things nice and blended. But I'm just going in and I'm taking pretty good sized sections. I'm still leaving quite a bit of depth because I still want this to be nice and lived in. But that is just what we're going for.
Hello, I am back and I am mixing up her gloss. So since we are wanting to keep it more on the subtle side, she is naturally about like a level 6.5, almost to a 7. She's got some natural kind of warmth in there. And so I'm going to be mixing up 8GI, 7NB, and 8NA. We do want to keep things still warm, and so I'm not by any means trying to dilute her warmth, and because we still want to have a little bit of like brightness and shine that like the warm tones offer, so I'm mixing up 8GI. She has really long, beautiful Rapunzel hair, so I'm going to need to mix up quite a bit. But so I'm going to be doing about 1 ounce of 8GI. I might end up adding a little bit more, and then I'm gonna do about 1/2 ounce of 8NA. Perfect. And then I'm gonna do about 1/2 ounce of 7NB. Actually, I'm just gonna put like a tad bit more. And then I'm just gonna put just a little bit more 8GI, just because I love this color and it's super pretty. So now I am up to almost 3 ounces. So then I'm gonna do equal parts of my processing solution. Excuse the phone. And so since with this, since we kind of lightened, I wanted to bust her past like the warm face, because that's where level 6 to 7 hair tends to lay. My gosh, tends to lay. I'm gonna grab this off the floor. And so I knew that if I used less volume developer, that I would be stuck with a lot of warmth to kind of reduce. And so I lifted a little bit higher so that way we pass out. That way I could gloss down and I could give her the beautiful warmth that we want instead of trying to correct orange or gross tones. So I am going to mix this ISO. I always shampoo first and then I put the gloss on. So I'm gonna let this sit on for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and then I will rinse, condition, and we'll blow dry and style.